I am a private chef for Billionaires. Last week, I was asked to recreate a special dinner from 30 years ago. The ingredients list made me call the police. After 15 years cooking in Michelin-starred kitchens and another decade serving ultra-wealthy clients, I thought I'd seen every outrageous request. Old flaked everything. Endangered species sourced through back channels, a birthday cake that cost more than a house, but Mrs. Pemberton's request was different. She called me personally, not through her assistant. I need you to recreate an exact meal from May 15, 1994. Every detail must be perfect. The pay was extraordinary, minus $50,000 for one dinner serving 6 people. She emailed me a handwritten menu from that night, yellowed with age. The dishes seemed simple enough. Cassoulet Dover, sole, chocolate siphonkum. Even the wine pairings were reasonable, though the vintages would be expensive to source. My late husband kept meticulous records, she explained. This was the night that changed our lives. I want to honor his memory. I'd cooked for the Pembertons before old money pharmaceutical fortune. Her husband had passed 2 months ago under what the news called sudden circumstances. The challenges started when I began sourcing ingredients. The menu specified Michelle's special blend for the cassoulet seasoning. After dozens of calls, I tracked down Michelle, minus a retired chef now in his 80s. When I mentioned the Pembertons, he went silent. I can't help you, he said finally. That blend, I swore I'd never make it again. Eventually money talked. Michelle agreed to meet me, but insisted on a public location. He handed me a sealed envelope with trembling hands. Don't open it here, and after you read it, think carefully. Back home, I opened the envelope. The special blend wasn't just herbs and spices. Tucked between legitimate ingredients were chemical formulas I didn't recognize and plant names in Latin. One ingredient was simply listed as compound 47B-C Harold. He died in a car accident in 1995. I decided to check the wine list more carefully. The vintages were all correct except one, minus a 1989 Catro that, according to my sommelier contact, had a unique property. It masked certain bitter flavors that would normally be detectable. The dessert recipe was the final piece. The chocolate soufidam required temperature precision to 0.1 degree and included timing notes that seemed obsessive even for a perfectionist chef. The margin note read, for main, serve exactly 2 hours 17 minutes after main course. I called a friend who teaches chemistry. Without context, I asked about the chemical formulas. She called back an hour later. Where did you get these? Half of these compounds are controlled substances. The combination, it would create a delayed reaction, toxin undetectable after 48 hours. My blood ran cold. I pulled up news archives from May 1994. 3 days after the date of this dinner, a competing pharmaceutical executive and his wife had died from severe allergic reactions at their home. 2 witnesses from the dinner also died within the year, minus both accidents. The Pembertons had bought out the competing company for pennies on the dollar. I documented everything and drove to the police station. The detective looked skeptical until I showed him the evidence. Mrs. Pemberton is recreating this dinner tomorrow night, I told him. The guest list includes her late husband's former business partners. The raid happened during tomorrow's dinner. Mrs. Pemberton was in the kitchen supervising every detail. When the police arrived, she didn't run. She smiled. 30 years, she said as they cuffed her. Harold always said the perfect crime has a 30-year expiration date. They found more evidence in her husband's study, detailed notes from dozens of special dinners over 3 decades, a pharmaceutical empire built on bodies. The detective told me later that my chemistry teacher friend was right about the compounds, but wrong about one detail. Minus, they weren't just toxic. They were designed to mimic natural causes, heart attacks, strokes, allergic reactions. How many did they kill? I asked, we're still counting, he replied. I closed my private chef business last month. Now I teach at a culinary school and sleep better at night. Sometimes the most dangerous ingredient in a kitchen isn't what's in the dish, minus, it's who's ordering it. The Pemberton estate is being liquidated. Victims' families are finally getting justice, and somewhere Michelle is sleeping peacefully for the first time in 30 years. Some recipes should stay buried, and some chefs are meant to do more than just cook.